Okay, guys, so I want to talk to you about this 3D wooden puzzle marble run. So here we have the box. The company was nice enough to send this out to me to check out. So we have this climbing compass marble run, 330 pieces for ages 14 plus. It says an estimated 4 hours to build. I will say, having built this, that is not too far off. This took me around 3 hours to put together. It's a pretty involved build. And how it works, let me show you real quick. You have these sheets of little punch out pieces. Here's some of the extra pieces. It does come with some extras of some of the more commonly used pieces in the build, which is nice that you just punch out these pieces and put them together. You do have some nice printed assembly instructions here. So it goes step by step, walks you through everything. It is pretty simple. Takes some time, but it's not. I wouldn't call it difficult. Just have to be kind of careful. They are wooden pieces. If you're not careful with them, you don't want to force them. Then they could kind of splinter or break. So you do want to be careful as you assemble. But this is the finished product. Let me also add. You do get, of course, the marbles that go with it, and then you get a couple pieces of sandpaper to file pieces down if they're not fitting. I didn't have to use this. I was able to get things to fit without this. And then you also have a couple small little solid blocks of wax because there's certain moving parts that they recommend waxing, and you definitely need to pay attention to the instructions and do that because it is important to get this to work right. So let me kind of show you how this works. So you have here, this is like the loading area. So we're going to load up a few marbles here. We'll load up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have these little steel marbles here. And you have a little plunger here that's going to, right down here. Little plunger that is what gets them on the track. But first you have to make sure you have this thing lined up and you use this crank here to move this with the kind of gear system that's in here. Now the one thing I will say about this is a little finicky. You have to make sure you get these rails for this elevator, get these rails waxed really, really well to get them moving right. Okay, so we've got them there. So we're gonna punch that. So now we've got a marble in our elevator, and we're going to move the elevator, and it's gonna go up these little spaces here. Now I found this elevator doesn't really like to move without a little bit of help here on the top. It just tends to get caught because the mechanism on the other side is pushing or pulling from either the very bottom or the very top. So it tends to kind of add some torsion on this elevator, which makes it stick on either the top bar or the bottom bar. But if you kind of help it along the top, you can see it moves, and then this piece lifts, lets the marble through, and then seals back, and then you go the other way. And we're just going to go like this until we get up to the top, and then I'll turn it around to show you where the marbles go once you have them up to the top. So you have to be a little careful here. This is not, it's not super robust because this is, laser cut wood pieces. You don't want to force this too hard, but it does work, and it is quite cool. All right, so we're almost to the top here. Let's turn this around. So here, once we get to the top, the marble is going to come out the top, and then it's going to go into this little spiral, which has 3 different holes, 3 different tracks that the marble can end up going down. So it goes like that, and then we got the little spiral, and then it comes down and then resets here at the beginning. So let me show you the 3 little runs that are here. So we've got this one, which kind of goes around, and then circles back down. We have the spiral that we hit just a minute ago. So it kind of spirals through there and then resets. This one might be a little harder to see, but then there's also this little loop right here. So it's going to come down, loop around, land on that platform, and then run back to center. So that one's pretty fast. That one's pretty cool. Does a little loop-to-loop. The marbles do. Just dropped one. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. We'll worry about that later. So yeah, this is pretty cool. It's a very cool little toy for something that you can assemble yourself. It does work pretty well. Like I showed you, I need to give this elevator a little assistance to move smoothly because I just worry about breaking it. But other than that, everything works as it should. The instructions are good. And it's a very enjoyable build. If you like building toys, you like Legos, you like Connects, you like things like that, you'll enjoy putting this together. I would definitely say this is not going to be for young kids. This is going to be for kids that are a little bit older, early teens and up, most likely, or a kid who's just really experienced with building toys. And it is going to take a little bit more patience, a little bit more care than something like a Lego set, because this is wood. These pieces are more fragile. You do have to punch them out of the sheets, and you have to be careful while you're doing them because some of them are pretty fine, pretty thin, and you want to be very careful that you don't end up breaking or bending them. But all in all, it's a cool little toy. I think the real value is in the build, and that it's a pretty fun build. It takes a long time, a lot longer per piece than like a Lego or K'NEX, in my experience. But all in all, this is pretty fun. I enjoyed putting it together, and I'm going to keep it on my shelf as just kind of like a little display piece, and every now and again, kind of throw some marbles on it just to have a little fun. So check this out. If you like building toys, I think you'll enjoy this a lot.